today on Attack of the Show. Fire away at Gears of War in a battle-ready loop. She's waiting on you, but you want to serve her.
You've gotten over tougher hurdles than this before.
The special is in your pants. And the Autobots and Decepticons battle it out on DV Tuesday. All this and more on a live and diabolical Attack of the Show, starting right now.
What's going on here? Think upon this.
I mean, really. It feels great, but
We deserve it. Just enjoy it.
you deserve it.
I do. Welcome, don't touch me.
My
Welcome
side of the
to
table.
Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. It is Tuesday, November 7th. I'm Olivia Munn, and this is my side of the table. Back off.
Look, you take far too much.
No, I don't. Part of your shirt is like hanging over into my side. You wouldn't
Deal
like
with
it if
it,
mine
sweetheart.
did that.
I'm Kevin Pereira. We're coming to you live from the G4 studios in Los Angeles. And everybody knows it's K-Fed Liberation Day.
Yes! No, wait!
Congratulations, K-Fed. You're a free man again.
No,
you can
no.
dance your way into the hearts and pants of ladies across the
I
country.
believe it's Brittany who's free, and I am so happy. Thank you, thank you.
Please.
Can I get the freeloader off and dump off the kids, too?
How
you don't
about
want
a couple more
those.
kids, Britt?
No.
Maybe that'll help your career. It's also Election Day. Let us not forget.
That's
so vote or
right.
die or something.
It's actually just midterm elections, so don't get too worked up. And as Diebold machines have proved, your vote really doesn't matter.
No. But don't let that discourage you from voting, because voting is an important thing. Gets you a sticker.
It is. Did you vote?
I'm a permanent absentee. I'm lazy.
Oh, okay.
But it can get you out of school, work. Most jobs will actually pay you for leaving. So even if you're not registered, just tell your boss that you want to be part of this democracy. You know, send an example to the kids in Iraq or something. Do your part, and then when you leave the office, you can just go get some In-N-Out or something. Some fries, well done.
I'm glad you're telling the kids that. It's very
Animal-style fries,
inspirational.
well done, by the way.
Now, you guys, Election Day also means that TV tonight is really going to suck. Instead of like watching Leno's ultra hilarious monologue, I'm going to have to pretend that I'm really excited about that school bond passing as I sit there and watch the frickin' just like over and over.
Okay,
the polls
Leno's
come in.
monologues haven't been ultra hilarious since it was called Conan. Like, he just hasn't been good since 1996. I'm sorry.
I watched Conan. That's what I meant.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
you didn't know.
but the school bills, those are exciting.
Okay, let me call you out on something because that's exactly what he feels. He really does think that he's really excited about the school bond passing.
Is that really calling me out? I think it's cool to be into
Well,
that kind of stuff.
tell him what you did last night. Tell him what you did last night.
I thought I'd go to bed early, around 10 o'clock or
'cause you were
so.
sick.
Kick the cold, the final, it's in its last throws.
Just get to it.
Mission
Tell 'em what you
accomplished
did.
banner. But I ended up just channel surfing from MSN to CNBC to CNN, etc. Even a little
So-
Fox News in there.
so
just to
excited about
watch
the school bond
to watch
passing.
predictions on preliminary results on projections of the vote. It was very exciting.
But you know what? Even though that's pretty sad, it's sexy in a
course
way.
it is.
It is sexy.
Of course it is.
You guys, now it is time to go to the home of politicians and bitter defeats.
Yes, prepare for opponing. We're going around the net.
Hey, a memo to those running for office. Be a gracious loser. Sure, you might have blown a lot of money and will have to slink back to a job with the commoners, but take defeat with dignity.
Yeah, otherwise you might end up on YouTube. I don't know, did you see this last night? The Country
Yes.
Music Awards?
I watched.
Please, tell them.
Well, you know, Faith Hill thought she had the Best Female Vocalist Award all locked up. I watched it personally. I couldn't believe that, you know, couldn't believe who won.
There was an upset,
Yes.
all right? And now everyone is watching and rewatching this on the internet today, so pay attention. Look closely. You don't have to actually
Well,
examine
do we have to
that
explain
closely.
what
No, this is not a gracious defeat.
Okay.
Just watch.
Can you open it? Carrie Underwood! Carrie Underwood!
And now, Miss Olivia Munn.
Okay. Ready?
Carrie Underwood!
What?
Yeah. That good. What did you say?
But I love how she starts off like this. It's like,
Oh,
like,
of course.
No, she's like, well, it almost seemed like she thought she was winning, like she thought she heard her
course.
name. It's like this. Ready? Say it again.
Carrie Underwood!
What?
Yeah.
Loved it. That's what I did.
One more?
No, that's what I did all night long, though. That's what I did. I just rewound it. And the thing is, I thought that she was really, I thought she was kidding.
I don't know how you thought that. She claims
kept
it was a joke,
rewinding it.
but, like, you know, she's a worse actress than she's a singer, and that's speaking volumes.
Well, I think
I'm
she's
sorry.
an amazing singer.
That was a snap.
Do you even know her music?
I have no idea what she
I
sings.
love Faith Hill's music, and until.
Do you like Faith Hill now after seeing that, though?
Well, you know what? Last night, because I did rewind it over and over and over to see if it was a joke, and I thought it was more of a joke when I first saw it. But then seeing it here, when we slow-mo it, she looks like the devil.
Of course.
But everybody looks bad in slow-mo.
That's not true.
That is.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, not like Baywatch.
Baywatch
like
proved
well,
that
yeah.
slow-mo can be as effective as.
You know, like criminals when they go into like the court, like they always they always try to walk slower because when they have to go fast when they show it on the news, it's the truth. I worked at NBC for a while, and that's what they do.
Yeah, no, of
That
course.
doesn't make sense.
Of course. No, it
Your little
doesn't at all.
do-do-do thing doesn't make sense to
That's
that.
enough for
It wasn't
today.
a good joke.
Go to g4tv.com/AOTS for the links to everything you just saw. But right now, it's time for the only news that you need to know. Here's Layla Cayley and the feed headlines.
Thanks, guys. Here's what's coming up in the feed. Soon you'll be able to download movies and shows on Xbox Live. Plus, YouTube gets a major honor from Time magazine. And a Turkish man claims he's the real Borat. It's all coming your way in the feed. But first, back to you guys.
Time to hear from you in the Army of Monitor Heads.
Here's Matt from North Carolina.
Hey guys, with all the hype around Gears of War, do you think this is the game Microsoft has been looking for to boost Xbox 360 sales?
Kevin, why was he standing like that?
I don't know. I really don't know the answer to the question.
Well, he asked a very good question. And, you know, Microsoft has the head start with the whole console war, and they need all the help they can get right now, right?
Yeah, you know, Microsoft was really hoping for 10 million. That's what they wanted to sell before the PS3 came out. They got to, I think, around 6, which is good enough to be the default development platform, and that's all they want. They want the EAs of the world to target the 360 first, then develop for the PS3. But with that said, you know, I think Gears is going to help them get to that 10 million mark. I think it is a system seller, and I think it will kind of stave off the competition.
Yeah. Well, Halo 3 is a ways off, and you know if they keep selling Xbox 360s, then they'll be in a good place.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is one big bump. Halo 3 will be that next big bump. But can Gears of War become for the 360 what Halo was for the Xbox? You know what I think. But, you know, the hype is huge, and it looks like Cliffy B and Microsoft might have the goods.
Well, we want to know what you guys think. It doesn't matter what Kevin thinks. Is Gears of War the next Halo? Vote at our website, g4tv.com/AOTS, or text your vote to G4TXT. That's... Sorry, I ran out of breath.
44898.
Yeah, to vote and register for AOTS Live News Alerts. There is lots more ahead here on Attack of the Show. We are warming your boob tube with so much goodness. Stay with us.
Hold your fire. We've got Cliffy B bombarding us with Gears of War info. And you want her to take more than just your order. The check's in your pants.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. We are live, and K-Fed, don't even think about it. I am not having your baby. Let's go on over to Kevin.
Thanks, Olivia. Now, the Xbox 360 has been out for almost 1 year. Halo 3 is still months away, and there's still not that one title that represents what the 360 has to offer. Of course, that is until today. With pre-orders second only to Halo 2, many believe that Gears of War has what it takes to be one of the most successful video game franchises of all time. And here with us today, the game's lead designer, and is it safe to say good buddy? Are we back on those terms?
We're average buddies, but depending on how this interview goes, we might wind up back at good.
Mediocre friends at best. Cliffy B, ladies and gentlemen. He's here. Welcome back to the old show, Cliff.
Good to be here, man.
Good to have. I mean, we've chatted about Gears of War before, and this, I mean, to say this was a big title for you is understatement of the century, probably.
Huge, man. It's been huge.
This had a huge effect even on like your personal life, right? How close were you to a heart attack?
This game almost killed me.
This game. I mean, but it really did, right?
Well, honestly, like my blood pressure wound up actually going up very, very high, and I wound up like on high blood pressure meds at one point because of the stress of this game.
And was it because, I mean, Microsoft, what? It was a $10 million game.
Honestly, the budget wasn't incredibly high, dude. I mean,
Sure.
$10 million for next generation, you have people saying it's going to cost like $40, $50 million to make a game, and we were able to pull this off for 10, which is unheard of. It was just the amount of pressure for everywhere on the outside, making something that could potentially sell the system, and I've been doing this for so long, and to have to make a game that is just a breakout hit for everybody involved was a challenge.
But now, as lead designer, I think there's this conception, oddly enough, in the gaming community that as lead designer, you're messaging, you're using your BlackBerry and chatting with Paris Hilton all day and doing blow in a green room. But
she says hi, by the way.
Thank you. Please tell her she needs to get her shoes out of my car immediately.
Okay.
But no, I mean, you're in there day to day. What was like a day in the life when your blood pressure was the highest, when you're taking those meds? What was your day to day like?
Well, being a game designer in this day and age, it's one half day to day sitting in front of a monitor, getting carpal tunnel syndrome, having meetings, working with everybody, and then it's also promotion now, right? So it wasn't just a matter of coming up with a great game design and iterating on it and the entire team just beating on the thing. It was a matter of promoting it and selling it.
Sure.
Selling it to Microsoft, selling it to the leads on the team, selling it to the individual team members, and finally selling it to the gamers and the press.
And you even had to sell aspects of the game, right? Like the chainsaw is one of the most satisfying parts of the game for me, by the way. I've gone through it twice now, and it's still not old. It's as far from old as it gets, just ripping into someone's chest with that chainsaw.
That's pretty sick, dude.
Why did you have to fight for that? I mean, wasn't there like a bit of a battle for you to get this into the game?
Well, there was a TV special that aired, and we kind of talked about what was the whole element of the chainsaw and whether or not we were going to put it in the game.
Right.
When you're making a game, you have a number of choices to make. You have a certain amount of dollars to spend, you have a certain amount of people and a certain amount of months to make the game. And certain features are going to rise through, they're going to ship with the game, and certain features aren't. Chainsaw, my heart always said it was going to make it in the game, and it did. I mean, but you never really know with making games, right? It's such a touch-and-go process.
Well, what got cut? What got left? I mean, obviously, Gears 2 is coming out, what, third quarter of 2007?
I haven't said anything about any sort of sequel. Anybody who says anything on the internet at all is completely taking things out of context.
Okay. But anybody who has the IQ of a houseplant knows, obviously, this is going to be a hugely successful original IP. They're going to want to follow up on this.
I'm a slightly superstitious guy, Kevin, and I don't want to sit here and say, oh, this game's going to sell 20 million copies or something like that.
Well,
we're going to do 6 copies.
But we know that pre-orders second only to Halo 2, you're guaranteed X amount of copies are going to be sold. I'm assuming enough to warrant a sequel, but that's me. That's not you saying there's going to be Gears 2. If there is a Gears 2, though, what got left out? What maybe didn't happen the way you quite wanted it in Gears 1? What would maybe be fixed up for Gears 2?
I think there's a lot of other ways that you can kill a locust. You know, they say there's like how many ways to skin a cat.
Right.
I think if in the event there were to be a Gears sequel, you could probably see a lot more different ways to explode heads and cut people up and generally have a good time and experience the universe.
Now, obviously, the pressure of everybody saying this has to be a system seller, this has to be, the biggest title for 360 to date. The comparisons came out to Halo. People are saying, is this the next Halo? Did that drive you nuts, or was that flattering to have, your game, this new IP, compared to one of the biggest games of all time?
There are worse games or worse IPs you could be compared to.
Like I said, is this the next Daikatana? And then,
Well, I mean, if you look at nice reference, by the way.
You're welcome.
If you look at the phenomenon that is Halo and Grand Theft Auto, we're not just dealing with games anymore. We are dealing with entertainment IPs. We're dealing with mega launch days, and this is the future of entertainment in general. So the fact that Microsoft is so behind the game, the fact that the gamers are drinking the Kool-Aid, they're loving it, the fact that everyone's lining up right now to get their hands on the first copy, I mean, it's exciting beyond belief, and I think it's the new face of entertainment.
All right, Cliffy, thank you. We didn't even get to the multiplayer. I wanted to ask about the PlayStation 3. We're out of time, sir.
Curb stomp each other, and PlayStation 3 is cool too, man.
I'll press X away. Thanks, Cliff, for coming on. It's good to have you as always. Make sure you go out and pick up Gears of War. It's out today. You have to get it. Seriously, it's amazing. Let's go over to Olivia, though.
Thanks, Kev. Today we are bringing you Wednesday's biggest video game releases. It is time again for Attack This. Yes, everyone is going to buy Gears of War this week, but if you can't get your hands on a copy, do not worry. This is a huge day for game releases. First up, SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs Combined Assault is headed to the PS2. The latest in the SOCOM series delivers more weapons, more vehicles, and new maps. And there's a gimmick. If you have a PSP with a SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs Fireteam Bravo 2, you can actually interact with your combined assault missions by taking out targets with your PSP. Next, Tony Hawk's Project 8 pushes the limits of the popular Tony Hawk skating franchise and is headed to nearly every console out there. This time around, there are a whopping 56 songs in the game from big-name artists like Bad Religion, Gnarls Barkley, and Slayer. And for a new level of realism, you can create your own skating tricks by manipulating your skater's feet in slow motion using the 2 analog sticks. Next, Call of Duty 3 is going to make its way onto all of the next-gen systems, but for now, you can only play the Xbox 360 version. The gameplay hasn't changed much from Call of Duty 2, but COD3 looks great, and the multiplayer is as addictive as any first-person shooter can be. Now, if you guys are getting a Wii, the Wii's analog nunchuck will offer up some precise aiming. And finally, the highly anticipated sequel to Guitar Hero arrives on Wednesday. Guitar Hero 2 is loaded with 40 great hit songs like Surrender, Monkey Wrench, and Freebird, plus an additional 24 bonus tracks. The gameplay now allows for 2-player games at different skill levels. 3 button chords and the face melters on Expert are total insanity. We cannot wait to get this one home, and I guarantee in 9 to 10 months I'm going to be a pro. I promise you that. Everyone, that is today's Attack This. Visit g4tv.com/AOTS for links to all these games. Still ahead, we'll tell you all the details about downloading movies and shows to your Xbox Live in the feed. And up next, we'll tell you how to pick up more than the check in an all-new In Your Pants on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
What's going on, everybody in TV land? Welcome back to a live Attack of the Show.
We're actually in TV land. They're not in TV land. We are in TV land.
What do you call their land?
Like homeland or couchland or like family living room TV, like family space land?
Viewerville?
Viewerville.
Okay, hello, Viewerville.
Hey!
Hi from TV land. We're TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. Now, little did you actually know, I control the vertical and the horizontal lines in your television set. However, this girl right here, she controls the pixels.
That's right, Kevin. Hey, everyone. But now it is time to break out the nipple clamps and polish your latex gimp suit. We're going in your pants. Kevin? Sex columnist Anna David, who's written for magazines like Esquire, Playboy, is back with more advice for you. And Kevin is here with the secret sauce. Some like to call it the baby batter.
The fire sauce.
The baby batter. All right, our first question is from a guy who wants to know how to drop the hint.
There's a hot waitress at my favorite restaurant who always seems to be hitting on me. What's a good way to ask her out?
Okay, so he's got to, you know, I'm a big believer in the just being yourself.
I am too.
Yeah.
I like it when we agree.
I know, me too.
It's such a happy world when we agree.
Yeah, so, but not, I don't think you should actually go off and,
What are you saying, Kevin?
I didn't say anything
We
yet.
can see you. There's monitors everywhere.
I gave a nod of approval.
Okay.
And
I
you
gave a nod of
pointed.
approval.
You know what?
I said, these girls right here, they're right on.
You wait until we point to you, then you talk, mister.
I'm
you
sorry.
keep your mouth shut.
I'm not
Get
going
the
to speak
nipple
unless
clamps
spoken
and keep
to.
your mouth shut. Anna, let's hear what our man needs to do.
Well, I think that a waitress who gets hit on a lot is going to go out with some of the people who ask her out. So, you know, the best thing to do is, you know, I think you don't say, like, I'm sure you get hit on all the time.
Oh, I hate that.
Is there a worse? Is there a
There's
bigger
nothing worse than that. I'm sure you get this a lot.
You know,
But I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, come
And it also is
on.
putting you in an inferior position. It's putting her in the power position, and I think that irritates women.
And it's not sexy.
It's not sexy. No, it makes you seem unmanly. So don't do that. But just, like, objectify her less. Think of her less as a pretty waitress and just more as this, you know, woman, you sit in her section, she's got to talk to you anyway.
Right.
It says, you say she's hitting on you. What's the problem?
When she comes for the check, you go, oh, you know what, I'd love to leave you a bigger tip, but I don't know if you're on the pill. It's a great icebreaker. She's going to let you know yes or no, and then...
I thought you were going to try to be genuine now.
No, don't laugh. It just encourages him, Anna. Don't laugh.
on.
Don't laugh. I definitely think it's the biggest thing is when they're just themselves, because especially when there's so many different guys around and they're hitting on you, and there's that one guy that's just treats you like a friend, and he's, you know, it's really hard because if you're nervous, but you have to really push through that and just be confident and not confident like, you know, like egomaniac confident, but just like be yourself, like as if you're with your friends, just pretend she's not her, and then she'll hopefully fall in love with you.
Yeah, and a waitress, you know, she's like your victim. If she's serving your table, you know, you got her attention. So
Sure. She has to give you the attention. I think that's how the job works.
pretty
But
much
make
how it
sure
works.
it's not just for the tip, because that would be kind of weird.
Yeah. You want to get the whole thing.
And finally, a guy looking for anonymous love on the information superhighway.
Yeah, now we're talking.
You know, I notice these sex ads on Craigslist these days. Is it safe anymore?
No!
Sex on the internet. Kevin, well, we'll get you know what? I know, I'm like, I skipped Anna. I was like, Kevin?
Well, Kevin, did you secretly write this question?
No.
tell
I posted a couple Craigsllists in my day.
Those
but
aren't
never
real,
happened.
right? Those Craigslist things, those crazy ones.
No, I'm Teen Flirt 16. I pretend
You're so
just like
gross.
everybody else does.
But Anna, I mean, you know, we talked about the internet dating thing before, and people, you know, exploring different sites. So this isn't internet dating.
No.
This is just please have sex with me.
I know people who have like done the anonymous sex thing on the internet. To me, I think you've got to have tremendous shame about your sexuality or practically have a suicidal impulse.
Okay.
Because 1 in 3 people are mentally ill. It's a statistical fact.
Okay, but okay, honestly,
There's
what's
3 people right here. I'm just throwing it out there.
Exactly.
Oh, no, I'll take it for the team.
Okay,
Okay, Chris, so you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
But here's my question. I understand that it's different because you don't really meet the person, all right? Like, you don't know them, you haven't seen the picture. But what's the difference between that and meeting a guy at a bar and going home with him that night?
Not that different. That's not particularly safe either.
Yeah.
But I think that people who are like on Craigslist and are trying to meet strangers to have sex is a particular breed, a very unhealthy, mentally, I mean, why are you even looking for anonymous sex on the internet?
Yeah,
I mean,
it is creepy.
It's just
Well, it's convenient. It's easier than looking for anonymous sex anywhere else.
Well, and also, I know I honestly do think it's creepy and it's weird and I would never do it, but the guy, I mean, when you go out to a bar, there's guys, all they want to do is get laid.
Right, and there's girls, and that's all they're looking
Exactly,
for as well.
so now
if
they're
you
just
could meet up on a Match.com type thing, there
but
you go.
just never know. You never know who is the crazy person,
Well, we've already confirmed that it's you, Anna, and you said it.
That you can find online, and I'm crazy and I already know it. So.
Well, you guys, thank you so much. And Anna, you can get all of Anna's crazy answers to all the questions you just heard on our website at g4tv.com/AOTS. And you actually might find out more about Anna David at annadavid.com, or if she's looking to have anonymous sex with you. Now, you guys have come this far and deserve a prize. Congrats. There is plenty more Attack of the Show right after this. That's a great prize. Really.
Open up. It's all the news you need to know in the feed. And lock and load. We're getting ready for War in the Loop.
Hi, Attack of the Show gang. Which do you think is cooler? Superheroes like Superman, who have actual amazing powers, or superheroes like Batman, who have to rely on their own strengths and gadgets?
That's a good question. I actually
Note
had this
to viewers at home, Olivia did the inappropriate petting. Just saying.
Hey, I didn't.
Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you. I actually had this little debate with Blair Butler.
Of course.
Miss Fresh
Who else do you have this debate with?
And I went with automatic. I think superhuman powers are cool. I mean,
Completely agree.
You're superhuman.
Yeah.
But Blair made a very good comeback, which is, when like Batman, you have to do it all from your inner strength, and you're actually going out and getting vengeance.
Batman's only Batman because he's wealthy, and like by that and all, like if you take that side of the
True.
argument, Bill Gates could be the next Batman because he could afford
Do
a
you think
Batmobile.
he is?
But no, he'd break like a little girl.
Aw.
It's like he can't be. So
It's like
there's
you being Batman or
Yeah, it's
Superman.
like just
you're
because I
like,
can afford a utility belt doesn't mean I'm saving anybody. It's not going to happen.
you break like a stick.
That's it. Our friend Christina here just got
Oh,
an
hey.
Attack of the Show T-shirt
Right here.
right
She
there.
was, like, her head was
and
there,
so
and it'd
can
be
you.
like that.
That's it. That's it.
See?
Just send us a question. If we use it, you'll be sporting that new shirt. Go to g4tv.com/video voicemail and send one in. We're live.
We are?
Mm-hmm. And
Hey.
I'm officially your man of steel,
No, you're not.
Kevin Pereira.
And I'm your woman of wonder, Olivia Munn. With our superpowers intact, we now can go forward with quality television that both informs and entertains. Now, your superpower is money. You just admitted, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. If you throw money at any problem, you'll solve it. But right now, it's time to inform. Here's the only news that you need to know in today's feed.
Thank you, guys. I'm Layla Cayley, and it's time to start the feed. Starting November 22nd, Xbox Live will start offering movies and TV shows on demand. Several studios are offering content, and you'll be able to download films, plus some titles will even be available in high def. There will also be shows from Adult Swim, Comedy Central, MTV, and VH1. Everything will work on Microsoft's point system, though there is a catch. Due to the 360's limited hard drive space, these downloads are digital rentals, not outright purchases. YouTube just got snatched for $1.65 billion, and things keep getting better for them. The popular site is in negotiations to distribute content through Verizon into cell phones and television. YouTube was also named Time Magazine's Invention of the Year. It beat out a vaccine that prevents a cancer-causing STD for the honor. It's nice to know Fave Hill videos beat out cures for cancer. Great. A Turkish journalist claims that he's the real inspiration for the most popular man in America, Borat. In 1999, Mihir Kagri became an internet celebrity for his website ikissyou.org. The site was full of broken English, invitations for women to come stay at his house, and strange pictures, including shots of ping pong and skimpy swimwear that all share some similarities to the film. Mihir wants an apology and is considering taking legal action. And finally, last night in Los Angeles, Guitar Hero fans got to meet one of their idols, and we were there. Dave Navarro appeared at Best Buy to promote the release of Guitar Hero 2, autograph controllers for the fans, and show people how to rock out for real. We sat down with Dave, and he told us why he got involved. Get ready.
It's something that highlights musicianship, you know? It gives the player, the user, the ability to feel like they're playing an instrument and kind of be a part of the songs that they love.
Get ready to rock. Guitar Hero 2 hit stores tomorrow. Well, that's all for today. You can now get the feed to go on your iPod. Visit the iTunes store or go to g4tv.com/podcast and click on iTunes podcast to subscribe. Now you've just been fed. Back to you guys.
Not impressed with Navarro because we've damaged a lot of really expensive gaming equipment here.
My plastic guitar smashing skills are far superior.
Far
than Dave
superior.
Navarro's. Just saying it.
Maybe he was imitating you.
Oh, it clearly was a poor imitation.
Clearly. Okay, this show has been so action-packed. It's a good thing Bruce Lee is dead because he'd just be jealous.
From Guitar Heroes to the Gears of War, which are already in motion, we're TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. And of course, we'll be right back with more.
Because that's what they care about.
Fire in the hole. The Loop is shelling out justice. And it's more than meets the eye on DV Tuesday. The feed is brought to you by Tag Body Spray for Guys. Consider yourself warned.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show. We are live and talking Gears of War. Earlier in the show, we asked you if Gears of War is the next Halo. Well, according to our text message counting scientists at the G4 Laboratories, 66% of you believe that Gears of War is indeed the next Halo. Let's go on over to Kevin to get the debate started.
All right, Gears of War is one of the most anticipated games of the holiday season. Now, with its exclusivity to Microsoft's Xbox 360, is Gears of War their best chance in the console war? I mean, how does it stack up to everyone's favorite shooter, Halo? Press start, folks, or that shiny little Xbox gem. It's The Loop. Joining us tonight, managing editor for OneUp.com, Garnett Lee, and games editor for Geek Magazine, Paul Semmel is here. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin, what's going on?
Not a whole lot, hanging out, talking Gears. Tell me, do you think this is... I mean, Halo defined the Xbox as a system. Is Gears of War going to do the same for the 360, Paul? What do you think?
I think it's too early to tell. I mean, obviously, it's going to do very well for them. We know that from the pre-orders. But I think whether it'll define it, we'll have to see over the next couple months and have to see how well it does on Xbox Live.
All right. Early
report... that's...
Oh, please, go ahead.
Hey, Paul, that's kind of an easy out, isn't it? I mean, we can easily say, hey, it's going to take time to figure out. But the initial response that we've seen on the game is it's fantastic. This is a game that people are going to immediately gravitate to and go, oh, my God, I can't believe the 360 looks that good, especially when they compare it to PS3. Because this game looks better than anything on PS3 right now.
Well, that's true, but you're talking about that's only coming from gamers. The reason Halo became such a big thing is because it crossed over into the mainstream. And
now,
I
Paul,
think that's going to take a while.
Let's talk about these casual gamers and even kids, perhaps, or uninformed adult gamers. When they go to a Best Buy and they see Gears of War sitting next to a PlayStation 3, are they going to look at that and say, well, geez, this to me looks like the next generation game? Won't that sell some systems, you think?
It very well may.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing. I think that, you're talking about this being sort of the counter-programming to the PlayStation 3 and the Wii, and I think that's exactly what it's going to end up doing. Because without it, Microsoft would just be slaughtered this holiday season.
All right, I don't know. Come on, slaughtered's really strong. I'm looking at my library the other night. The 360's got a fantastic library of games, even without Gears of War.
Right, but it doesn't have the hype that the PlayStation 3 and the Wii is getting right now. Everybody's talking about those. Everyone's asking me about those, and Gears of War.
All right, now, Garnett, is this thing, I mean, tell me, is it the next Halo, though, in your opinion, yes or no? Next Halo?
Well, no, it's not the next Halo, because the next Halo implies like a copycat thing.
Sure.
And this is the next big game. This is the Gears of War. This is the game that people will turn around and say is the next game the next Gears of War, and that's why it's such a good game.
Well, let's talk about the multiplayer aspect then, because a lot of people say Xbox Live was built solely on the back of Halo and its multiplayer functionality. Looking at the 360 now, aside from maybe Texas Hold'em and Uno, the only things people are playing online seem to be Halo 2. Do you think Gears is going to change that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing about the Gears that I really like is the smaller size rooms. I mean, you compare it to people talk about really large games with a bunch of people. This is a very intimate game. It's 4-on-4, and when you're in there playing with your buddies, it's an intense match.
Paul, what are your thoughts there?
I agree. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's a very different kind of game than Halo, and I think that online it's a lot of fun, especially if you're playing with people in the room with you and you get to use the chainsaw.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Kevin, I think what's going to happen is people are going to want more out of this game. So it's really going to be on Epic to deliver more content, get more up there on Xbox Live to feed us. I mean, we're going to be hungry. You're going to get into this game, it's got 10 maps, and you're going to get through them really quickly and be going, man, I want more content, give it to me now.
Right. Well, now, is there enough in this particular game, though, to keep everybody from talking about the PlayStation 3 and the Wii? Because obviously, we said just moments ago, that's where the hype is right now, but the 360 can't fade from gamers' memories in this holiday window. This is crucial for Microsoft. Is Gears enough?
Why would it fade? Come on, Kevin. Why would it fade how would it fade with a game like this?
Because if you look on any mainstream television show, you read the magazines, it's all about these PlayStation 3 ads. It's all about the innovative new controllers. I mean, Microsoft's only weapon really against them right now seems to be Gears of War. Now, in my opinion, I think it is enough. I think, again, you go to a store, you see this kiosk, you see Gears of War playing, the game visually is stunning enough to stand up, and from early reviews, obviously the gameplay is obviously enough to stand up. But, Paul, some people are saying this is their only weapon, this and Viva Pinata. Is that going to be enough?
Well, I don't think Viva Pinata is going to do much of anything, really. But it's not the only thing, because there's a lot of other great games, but it is sort of the biggest one, and I think that it's really going to be the one that sort of leads the charge, and bring with it things like Call of Duty 3 and Fear and a bunch of other really good Xbox 360 games that are coming out.
All right, Garnet, final question to you, sir. Which title is going to do more, in your opinion, to really define the 360 in the coming years? Is it going to be a Gears of War 2, which I know this is as hypothetical as they get, but Gears of War 2 or a Halo 3? Which one do you think will do more to define the system?
Well, I think that you really can't discount Halo because of the fact that, like we were talking about, it's gone mainstream. It already has the mythology built. So you already have this attachment to Master Chief, to the Covenant, to what's happening in the storyline. So that's going to be the next big game that people will really point to.
Paul, do you think we're going to care about Lieutenant Cole as much as we will about Master Chief?
Probably not. He's not really as interesting a guy. But I do think it's as interesting a game. And one of the things I'm seeing already are other games that are using very much the same motif of the third-person over-the-shoulder look. I think that could be sort of a very influential thing in this generation. Whether it'll outdo Halo 3, I think we got to wait and see what Halo 3 does, because they might come up with something even cooler.
Very true, very true. All right, guys, I want to thank you for joining us at the Digital Water Cooler. Thanks for keeping us in the loop. And by the way, if he's not a lieutenant, save the forum post. It's just a hypothetical. Now, Gears of War is expected to be a system seller, all right? And Microsoft's defense really against the PlayStation 3. And I'm just going to say this, and I said it before, when parents or casual gamers, when they wander into a Best Buy and they see the shiny PlayStation 3 kiosk sitting next to Gears of War, I think it'll be clear that the emergence of this holiday's next-gen gaming experience had little to do with Spider-Man fonts or crying plastic dolls or Rubik's Cubes. You get it. Olivia, back to you.
Still ahead on Attack of the Show, film expert Chris Gore will be here to give us the specs on the very first season of Ultraman. That's up next on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
Attack of the Show. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show. Folks, we are live and ready to give you instant gratification. You've sent in the mail, and she's about to answer it. So here she is, Miss Olivia Munn.
Thanks, Kev. The Pony Express is alive and well. Here's my inbox. My first email comes from Barry, who wants to know, hey, Olivia, what do you do for fun on your days off? Well, I love to surf. I've been surfing for a couple years now, and I learned to surf for the Nickelodeon show I do, and it's awesome. I try to get out as much as I can, but actually, my favorite thing to do is pretty sad. I sit on my couch and multitask, reading, surfing the net, watching The View on my TiVo. I know it's embarrassing. I've got cool stuff too, like The Daily Show and Family Guy, but man, what can I say? I'm a sucker for the Hot Topics and Rosie O'Donnell. It's just so much fun. And I'm also looking for a donor. I'd like to have a child in the next 9 to 10 months. If you guys want to just request that on my MySpace, I'll do that. My next email comes from Micah. Olivia, do you have any weird pre-show rituals? Well, not superstitious, but I am sort of obsessed with my cell phone and MySpace right before the show. Literally seconds before we go on air and between the commercial breaks, I'm either sending text messages or MySpace emails. It's pretty much a good distraction that prevents anxiety. This releases a lot of tension. And finally, message is from Sky.
Hey, Attack of the Show. I got a question for Olivia. If you ran for political office, what position would you run for?
That's a good question. There's a lot of positions that people don't know are elected to office, like, state coroner. But I would probably have to say sheriff. Yeah, let me tell you, Sheriff Munn would be the most badass sheriff around. I would love to run things and would legalize pretty much anything. Yeah, I wonder if there's a G4 sheriff, because I think that I would really put down some law in this town and let a lot of stuff slide. Okay, guys, that is all the time we have for my inbox. To make your voice heard, go to g4tv.com/soundoff and send me your questions. But right now, let's go on over to Kevin.
Thanks, Olivia. Folks, you know what day it is. It's Tuesday, and of course that means our film expert, Chris Gore, is here again, giving us the rundown on the new DVD releases that are hitting stores today. From Monster House to the Transformers, it's time for DVDs in disguise. Here's DV Tuesday. Very democratic Chris Gore here today.
That's right, that's right. I had to rush over here right after I voted, which I hope you all did too.
And you said it's somebody's house, their garage, and
went into somebody's house, yeah, right in my neighborhood.
The weirdest thing
walked
in the world,
you walk in their living room. It's bizarre. It's weird.
All right, let's talk about some DVDs. Let's get to the movies. Starting off with Monster House, which is this the one where they made the volcano house? Because it was the best one.
No, not to be confused with that makeover house show.
Right.
This is Monster House, which actually co-written by Rob Schrab, who's been on this show.
Channel 101's
Rob Schrab. Channel 101's Rob Schrab. Real simple story about a bunch of kids who are afraid of the scary house in the neighborhood that, if you leave your ball or your tricycle on the lawn, it gets taken away by the mean old man in the house.
So basically my house. That was my dad.
Yeah. And you find out that, of course, the house is possessed. And what really works about this movie is the relationships between the kids. And they used real actors. I mean, they cast actors. Steve Buscemi plays the old man. And you see them with, of course, all those little dots on their face, a la Gollum, acting. It is the best acting I've seen in one of these CG animated
they're
movies in a long
capturing
time.
the actual facial expressions, and that's going to show.
The performances, this sort of awkward, sort of prepubescent, the boys both have a crush on the girl in the movie.
Right.
Just fantastic.
Do they show you that,
film.
like in the special features, though? Do you get behind the scenes of how they put this thing
You do get
together?
behind the scenes. There's commentary. There's great behind the scenes, actually, where we see, of course, some of the actors actually doing their performances. And it's not just their bodies. You actually get to see their all their facial movements are captured. It is, I mean, I was sitting here shocked.
Okay, I can tell you like it, but I got it. The interactive animation wheel.
It's got the little spinning wheel.
But really, the interactive animation wheel.
It's not that exciting.
That doesn't really spin that well.
Don't hold that against it. Okay. I mean, it's a lot of great extras. It's also, this is a movie I would watch over and over again at Halloween. It's a buy. Got to get it. It's
Plus,
that good.
The interactive animation wheel is also a huge.
I know, the box is kind of lame, but the
so it's a buy.
It's a great.
Well, you like boxes,
disc.
and I just had to get the note on that one.
I like it.
All right,
cool.
Transformers 20th Anniversary Edition.
Okay.
You better not say a single bad thing about this.
Let me be really honest with you. I am a noob when it comes to Transformers because when the Transformers came around, I was interested in girls because they were going through their own kind of transformation.
Plus the alcoholic haze.
You know what I'm saying? I was more of a Shogun Warriors, Micronauts guy, but so I really was not into the Transformers. I got to tell you something. Double disc set, 2 layers of commentary, including a trivia commentary with pop-up stuff. I didn't realize that Transformers were so cool. I mean, if the live-action movie is 1/10 of this film, it'll be fantastic. And not only that, with just the inside stories about this. For example, they swear in this.
Right.
I mean, I can't say any of the words, but the Transformers actually swear in it to give it a PG rating.
They were man-bots.
So that it would appeal beyond kids, and also in England, so that they would show the movie in the evenings. They actually put in swearing. There's so many extras on this.
Easter eggs all throughout the disc.
Tons of Easter eggs. There's interviews with people doing the voices. Not Orson Welles, unfortunately. Unicron. But I mean, just. This was put together with love. One of the best commentary track is actually they do a fan commentary track. And let me just say, the fans know more about this.
They know more about it than the actual.
They know more about it than the guys who were involved in the making of it. I mean, the fan commentary is fantastic. I felt like I was sitting around with a bunch of geek pals. It was that good.
And you probably were while you were watching it as well. Right?
That's what I felt, but I was never into. So to me, all of this is
I'm glad
fresh.
you're excited, but what's the bottom line on the Transformers?
This is a buy because they put so much effort into it. There was love put into this DVD.
Okay, good. Cooked with love.
Fantastic. Widescreen and full screen. I mean, everything a fan could want.
Ultraman Season 1, Volume Deuce. Tell me about it.
Now, if you used to watch The Adventures of Hayata when you were a kid, I would take that little microphone thing and turn into Ultraman. I love this show as a kid. It's giant monsters with a guy in a suit. It's cheesy. It's goofy. It's fun. It's the monster of the week. I'm going to be honest with you, no. I mean, it was great for me to revisit it. I could see the original in Japanese, which was cool. I never got to see that as a kid. But there's not a lot of extras on it. It's worth checking out. It's a rental. It's a solid rent.
And very quickly, because, of course, it's an important day. You're proudly wearing the sticker, as you should.
Yes, I voted. Quick picks.
Little
political-themed quick picks. We got a film called Medium Cool, which stars Robert Forster from the 70s. Fantastic political film. And then Bob Roberts, if you've never seen this, Tim Robbins plays a fictional candidate. It's a mockumentary. Great one, worth checking out.
Very nice. I'm glad we got through it all today.
Excellent.
Mr.
Thanks
Gore,
a lot,
thanks for coming on and sharing it. Everybody, if you want more of Chris, just visit filmthreat.com or chrisgore.com for more movie info. But right now, we're going back to mine.
Thanks, Kev. The election results are streaming in across the country, and we're hoping the Bull Moose Party pulls out the big victory. Stay with us. More ahead on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
If you haven't been watching Attack of the Show,
it reminds me of my sister's pubis.
This is what you're missing.
Pubis is our third greatest export.
For more info, go to g4tv.com/AOTS.
Attack of the Show. Attack.
Attention all gamers, X-Play's going prime time. Join Adam and Morgan for all new episodes featuring interactive polls and video viewer mail. Next, only on G4.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome back to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
Yes, we are live like Motley Crue, just minus the STDs. Well, I'm speaking for myself. I actually don't want to speak for you.
You should speak for yourself.
Yeah, because...
A whole lot going on. Walking bag of pus. Coming up tomorrow, we are seeing how well the new James Bond stacks up when we talk 007 in the Loop. Plus, online hotties galore. You know, it's time to pick a new MySpace Good of the Week, and I have to say it's a good thing because I'm already over last week's winner.
And our Hot Wheels guru and car expert Big C will take us behind the scenes of the SEMA Auto Show.
Hot Wheels? All right. Now, for all the things you saw today and more, go to g4tv.com/AOTS. But remember, X-Play is coming up next. It's all new and it's prime time slot. So stick around and say hello to our friends, would you?
Yes, we're so excited for them. Good night. I'm going to go back to MySpace now.